Well, good morning. It's J-Dog. Hey, today I'm at the Museum of the Mighty 8th Air Force right outside Savannah, Georgia. I've done a lot of trips back and forth on the I-95 corridor to between my home in New England and Florida. And I've passed this museum a lot of times and never stopped. So today I've got a little extra time and I'm going to stop and visit this museum and show you what it's like. It just opened up, so I'm not sure how everything is so far. Looks like I got to go over here and get admission. So this first gallery is really about the beginning of the war. This museum is really very much focused on World War II, as you can see from all this stuff. But I haven't gotten really to the beginning of the 8th Air Force. And here we go, from Savannah to the UK, the birth of the mighty 8th. So what I just read was that the 8th Air Force got its start here in Savannah. It was started as part of World War II. It was supposed to be originally involved as a support organization for the invasion of Africa, but it really didn't turn out that way. So here you can see Air Force. This is Army Air Force, the different Air Force. So the 8th Air Force here was England, Western Europe. So you had different Air Forces in Pacific and Italy and United States. A mural of a B-17 painted by SCAD students. Interesting how it very well done, very lifelike. All these murals were painted by some SCAD students at Savannah College of Art and Design. My son Liam attended that college, but no, these are very well painted. Well, now we're going to get in and see some airplanes. So this plane here, the city of Savannah, was actually one of the planes that was delivered here at Savannah to Hunter Field. You can see on the nose there, but it's a real authentic, not a model, a real plane that was built for the war. One of the docents here told me that in the nose here was a bombardier and navigator, but they also functioned as gunners, and so you can see there's like 4 guns there, but they took over the plane on the bombing run. Got some pretty good planes here. It's a P-51 up there, but yeah, I'm going to go in and take a look at the ball gunner there and the tail section of this B-17. This is an up close of a ball turret of the B-17. The gunner sat in there and actually controlled it with his feet and fired the weapons with pulling these cables, believe it or not. Here's a image of what that looked like in there for manning that ball turret. So this is the tail gunner. This is where the tail gunner would sit in the B-17. Not much to sit on, and he had 2 guns to operate.
For better video.
Yeah, this is outside view of the tail gunner on that B-17. So the 8th Air Force was very much involved in bombing Germany, and primarily B-17s, flying those bombing missions. Map shows the range and targets of the 8th Air Force. You can see the ranges they had. Well, that looks like it's a uniform for what these guys had to wear. Pretty cold up, I guess, with the leather and heavy equipment, parachute, breathing apparatus. So, this little video here, if you hear that voice, you may recognize it as Jimmy Stewart, who was, during World War II, a pilot in the 8th Air Force. And there we go, more Jimmy Stewart. So Jimmy Stewart, I just read that, he went in, enlisted at age 32, 1941. He went in as a private but then he quickly got promoted to second lieutenant, went through flight training, and actually flew 20 combat missions, and he became kind of a flight leader. Went into the reserves after the war, and he actually retired as a brigadier general. 8th Air Force was heavily involved in D-Day, doing the bombing prior to the invasion. Yeah, the 8th Air Force was... and I'm going to here, this gallery honoring the 8th Air Force. They have different bomber groups, or different groups. So the 8th Air Force not only included bomber crews, but also fighter aircraft and support aircraft were part of the mighty 8th Air Force. Here you have 8th Army Air Force aces. I'll put up what it takes to be an ace, but wow. There's some pictures, but this is on the wall, all their names. And they have a little gallery of women, fly girls of World War II. Over 1,000 young women left their homes and families to serve as military pilots. Women Air Force strike pilots, WASP. And they have an exhibit to the Tuskegee Airmen. Well deserved. Back in the rotunda here, about to exit, but this is just the plaques to all the different groups. You can see you got bomber groups, fighter groups here, scouting groups. It's got a plaque just showing their information, so you can read it as far as how many squads they had, aircraft, where they were stationed, number of missions, that type of thing. But it's to every one of the groups in the 8th Air Force. Well, I'm glad I stopped and visited this museum. You know, there's a lot of these museums on the I-95 corridor that I've stopped at, and this was one that was on the list, so I'm glad I did it. But it was a good chance to remember the servicemen and women who participated and died during World War II that were part of this group. But it's a good memorial to see what it was like and to honor them for their service. But hope you enjoyed this short video. Stay safe. See you on down the road.